Peace and greetings. Presenting the Network of Awareness podcast radio station, providing in-depth information on society and culture in America and abroad, bringing you truth messages of inspiration, keen insight, reputable interviews, and so much more. So now, for the truth you've been waiting for, your host of the Network of Awareness podcast, Aura, the informationalist.
Yes. Peace and greetings, people. This is Or the Informationalist, and you're now tuned in to a live broadcast of the Network of Awareness. And yes, I am back on this Monday, which is a government holiday, Labor Day, whatever that means, even though I don't celebrate it. For those that do, I hope you're having some fun barbecues and enjoying your time off from your laborious jobs. And I hope that you enjoy this live broadcast that I haven't done in quite some time. And now that I'm back, I took a hiatus. Part of my hiatus, for those that don't know, because I know some of you have been hitting me up via email asking, Aura, what's up? Wondering where I've been. And I know that some of the derelicts out there, some of the trollers and the haters out there was like, oh, he got shut down and all this nonsense based on that little sporadic lies that were spread about me and my wife. But the beauty of it is that none of that stuff is new to me. I've always had haters. Now I got trollers. I didn't have trollers before. Now I do. I didn't realize how many I had until that incident. But nevertheless, everything happens for a reason, people. And today's show is going to talk a lot about that, because today's show on season 4, episode 55, I titled this A Man of Worth, Not Success. And I consider myself to be a man of worth instead of success. Now, I may have had success in my life, but I focus on being a man of worth because I want to be worthy of the Most High's graces. And I know that I have been, and I have so much more to do to be even more worthy of the Most High, so that I can continue to be this messenger and build this platform called the Network of Awareness. And for those that are new to this platform, the basis of this show is to remind people that the light of the Most High is within them, and to also make them aware of everything that's going on around them as well as within them, so that they can make better decisions in how they're moving forward with their life. And the Network of Awareness has done a great job for the past year and a half in doing that. So, a man of worth, not success. I can tell you from just the past experiences, one of the reasons why I took a hiatus is because I went on a vacation with my wife, and it was very relaxing because I literally unplugged from everything and stayed present in just being with one other person. And it was a beautiful thing because I needed that rest. I needed more of the mental rest than the physical rest, because I didn't want to adapt behaviors of other people that do the same thing I do. They got demons on them, that they operate in such a ugly manner with malice. And I started to realize that I was adapting to that malice within myself. I was starting to be malicious. That's why I took my last episode down, because I was like, I don't need to be like other people speaking foul of others, even though a lot of these people are pieces of shit and it's been proven to be true. But at the same time, I couldn't allow myself to be like that, because I remember a brother that used to be part of this network telling me that I'm just cut from a different cloth than this old skeezer. And I had to remember that, because I was losing myself. I was losing myself in anger and rage and in disrespect towards me. But then I had to realize that everything happens for a reason. And the saving grace in all of it from the Most High was that the Most High let me know, like, you didn't do anything wrong. All the people, the few people that shitted on you, you helped them all out. So that's a them problem, not a you problem. But what happened was, the reason why I struggled with the betrayal was because there was one person in particular that turned his back on me, a brother that I would have never thought would have done that and had no reason to do that. But sometimes people, when you're dealing with people that care about what other people think about them, you should stay far away from those types of people, because those are the very people that will fail you, that will fail a friendship, a relationship of any magnitude, because they're still stuck in the worldly world of things. And sometimes people have such great influence. And that's the world that we live in right now. See, I'm new to social media. So when it comes to influence, the influence that I was having, whether I was the influencer or the person that was being influenced, I was getting that influence in reality, not online. So when I came onto social media recently, when I first started podcasting, because I stayed away from it, I really wasn't part of social media like that, nor did I have any desire to do so. But what I realized is that there's so much lies on there. It doesn't make me stray away from promoting the services that I offer and the platform that I'm building. But at the same time, social media is there's so many lies. It's like maybe 1% of people that are actually doing something meaningful that's based on real reality. And then the rest of it is just a lot of fuckery, lies, and deception, and things that are very unmeaningful. And what I started to realize with the situation I went through is that you have people that are very group-minded, orientated, and most of those people will gravitate to what other people say without even fact-checking anything. So we live in a society now where you can have a person that is of influence just start talking shit that doesn't even make sense. But because it's coming from them, it will be accepted as the truth, even though all avenues point to this bullshit rhetoric being a lie. And that's the society we live in now. And it was a great learning lesson for me, because I had to realize that most people ain't about shit. And I talk about this on my show, but I got to experience it firsthand with people that I thought was about something. And those people that I thought was about something turned their back on me for no reason. And the sad part about it that made it even worse is that they knew they were doing it based on another man's opinion. That's what made it even worse. But what I say to that is, que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. But at the end of the day, I have a purpose to serve. And I am a messenger. But the hiatus that I took, people, and for those that I thought, that thought that I was done and over with, I do apologize for not putting out an episode to try to let you know when I'm coming back. But I needed that time off to really evaluate things, because I'm going to do a show called Burying the Old Self. But I'm going to kind of touch on it a little bit in regards to my understanding of life when it comes to when you come into this understanding and truth of really being devoted to serving the Most High and not serving the world or serving any type of demonic energy. What I've realized is that in serving is that I had to really understand what it is that's important and not get caught up in going back and reverting back to my old self. I had to bury the old self, which I did a long time ago. But a brother that's in this truth really gave me a great education. We read some scriptures. We read Hebrews and we read 1 Corinthians. And what I gained from the scriptures when reading this, when congregating with my brother, is that sometimes when you bury the old self and you start to go through certain experiences, that old self can reemerge from the grave. And what happened to me, and it's kind of embarrassing, to be honest, I'm a little embarrassed of it, is that I had an arm. I had the old self, had an arm coming out of the grave, pumping a fist. And I had to knock that fucking arm back into the dirt. And the reason I'm using that as a metaphor is because I started thinking like the old self. I even started to want to do things that the old self used to do. But I knew if I was to go back to the old self, everything that the higher self, the new self, the self that the Most High is recognizing and sees worth in, would have been completely lost. And I had to reconfigure how I was going to move and not have that level of contentment and just utter rage and dislike and hate and wanting to spit on certain people for the lack of this, for the disrespect, for the lack of just loyalty, in the sense of, if you say you righteous, be righteous. But there's a lot of people out there that swear they're holy rollers, they swear they're righteous, but they're only righteous in their own mind because their actions don't reflect what is being expressed spiritually through their actions. And as I started to experience that, I started to get mad. I felt like I wanted to get back and I wanted to put people in their place. But the Most High revealed to me that it ain't my purpose to do that. It ain't my place to do that. That the very ignorance and transgression of one person is something that they're going to have to deal with all by themselves. And there's no need to put it out there or to make somebody know how messed up they are, how fucked up they are. And I had to accept that. And when I finally did, I found some peace in making sure that the old self maintained under the ground and was left there, because the higher new self, the self that I've become and the man that I'm becoming is worked too hard to revert back to some ignorant shit, to some low level shit. And what I also realized is that the Most High has taken these low level people I was dealing with out of my life for good. And I'm grateful for that. And what makes me happy and content is that I know that some of these people that the Most High took out of my life that completely, turned their back on me, they really wasn't about that life to begin with. But made me feel good is that I did right by them. Everything I said I was going to do, I did. And I even did more than I had to because I wanted to, because it was compelled in my spirit to do so. Now, I'm going to play a clip from a documentary in a little bit in reference to this all. Now, I'm going to tell you a quick story about this documentary that I suggest people watch. I think it's really good. I just watched it over the weekend. And by the way, I have a lot of shows coming out that are pre-record. So this week, I'm going to be putting out 10 shows. So I'll be doing live shows or pre-records at 7 p.m. all throughout the week. But I'm also going to be putting in 30 to an hour show, and I'm going to put out 5 of them. And one of them is called Poisoning Your Purpose. Now, I'm just putting that out there because it's in reference to that week that I missed, that I should have been working on these shows and I didn't. And I took a break because I started to feel, that anger and rage that I couldn't get rid of. So salute all my brothers that, helped me through this process. You know who you are. And thank you. And the reason I'm not mentioning your names is why, for now. But in this documentary, if some of you may have seen it or not, it's called The Girlfriend That Didn't Exist. It's the story of Manti Te'o, who was a high-level collegiate athlete he was a linebacker for Notre Dame. He's Polynesian, good brother, you know what I'm saying? A God-fearing, most high-fearing man. He's a Christian, but he was raised very well. And he wound up getting catfished by another dude that knew him, another Polynesian dude, wound up getting catfished. And now the guy that catfished him is now transgender. It's a whole shit show, right? But what I liked about the documentary is that it revealed to me, because the Most High speaks to me through experiences, through people, and through certain supernatural experiences that I've had throughout my life. And then, of course, in my dreams as well. But what I liked about this, people, oh boy, and if you haven't watched it, check it out. But what I like about it so much is that it's a perfect example of how good people are treated like shit more now than ever, because it's good to be bad and bad to be good these days. And you have to realize that if you want to move and progress in life in a righteous manner, you're going to have to realize that most people in today's society are not really who they say they are. And when pressure comes and when the shit hits the fan, a lot of them are going to fold, and a lot of them are going to subscribe to what's comfortable to their ego. And that's exactly what happened with some of the people I was dealing with. The other ones, I already knew that they were fucking idiots and that they were low-level people. They wasn't about that life. They wasn't righteous. They were doing a lot of things that are unbecoming of a human being, let alone of a man who claims to be righteous or a woman who claims to be righteous. But in this particular documentary, this man got catfished. And the reason he got catfished, was he a little naive? Absolutely. But when you're trying to do right by people, you will be somewhat naive. It almost comes with the territory because you're putting your faith and trust in helping somebody else and not even thinking for a second that that person is going to do some fucked up shiesty shit or do something that is of betrayal or of malice or bring some energy to you that's malevolent. But unfortunately, that happened to this dude because somebody was acting like they was a girl. They had pictures. And this is on Netflix, people. It's only on Netflix. It's called The Girlfriend That Didn't Exist. And it's the story of how Manti Te'o got catfished. But the brother was trying to do right. Like he was a good person and he was trying to help this female. Now, granted, the female never showed her face on FaceTime, and that's where he got a little naive. And, I'm pretty sure he learned his lesson. But the brother's now married. He's got kids. He's been in the NFL for quite some time. He's played for 3 different teams. He's good, but he had to go through some major shit that affected his career, affected his life. But it was because he was a good dude. And he didn't think that this piece of shit was going to do what they did to him. He never thought in a million years. But lo and behold, he was having an online relationship with a female that he never met. But because the female was portraying herself to be positive and uplifting, he thought it was cool. Like, okay. Eventually, he thought he would meet this person in person. But of course, like a lot of men and women do in relationships, whether they're being catfished or not, they play games. And he was having his mind, his emotions, his heart, his faith, everything was being played. And in the long run, anything that, and he says it in the documentary, anything that is done in the dark will soon come to the light. And that's in scriptures. So when I was watching this, it was resonating with me based on this past experience, because I started questioning myself in the sense of like, damn, like how the fuck this happened to me, you know? But when I came to realize, just like this man, after all the dust was settled, is that these are, as bad as these situations are, my situation wasn't even that bad, people. I just had a fucking old ass, ignorant man that ain't worth shit, talking shit about me. You know, somebody that's suffering from melasma, he got all types of stains and discolorization on his face. So I know he ain't healthy right now. And I let this dude not so much get in my head, but I allowed the relationships that got severed to get in my head, not realizing like they wasn't meant to be. And that's it. Just time to move on. But you get hurt because you do right by people and they fuck you over. It's natural. And it takes time and patience to get over it. And that's what it took for me. It took me a couple of weeks because I felt so disrespected. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful for the experience because now it got rid of all the bullshit motherfuckers that I already knew wasn't about shit and got rid of some of those that I thought was about shit. And it's crazy how, and this is true to life. Some of you may agree with this. Some of you may not. But it's crazy how you notice how whenever you get into a jam or some type of situation where you're going to need support from people that you're associated with, that you're bonded to, that you have relationships with to whatever magnitude, it's always the people that you think are going to be there are the ones that are not. And the ones that you think are not going to be sticking around and not going to be supportive are the ones that do. And it always works out like that for some reason. And that it was no different in my situation. And what I like about this documentary, going back to the girlfriend who didn't exist, is that eventually they find out, okay, now it's a whole big media story and all of this. And the person that was catfishing, they felt guilty. They felt really bad. But a lot of times, especially here in American society, I can't speak for other places around the world, but a lot of my overseas listeners, you guys probably experienced this too. And a quick note, I want to say thanks to all my listeners, my true listeners that have been downloading the past shows and keeping my show going with the downloads. I greatly appreciate y'all, for real. Because normally if you don't do a show for like more than 3 or 4 days, your numbers just drop significantly. But my numbers have been steady and it's just amazing. So I want to thank y'all. We're going to keep this going. We're going to get to 10,000 downloads a month. It's going to happen. All right. It's only a matter of time. It's unfortunate because, you know, I was looking to build with certain people, but when this incident happened, a lot of people just that I never thought would come out the woodworks with their bullshit perceptions and opinions, but they did. And it is what it is. I have no control over that. The only thing I have control over is dealing with the people that are worth it, that matter. And that's you people that are listening right now. And those people that that I haven't met yet that I will be helping in some way, shape, or form, and they're going to be helping me. And we're going to be supporting each other because that's what it's about. And because we're in a time where there's just so much deception going on and so much strife and so much negativity, it's very important to stay on that righteous path, on that tightrope. Yes, I said tightrope. We won't even go there. But in this documentary, there is a segment that I want to play for you guys. And this is towards the end of the episodes from this documentary. And this is Manti Te'o having an emotional response to the experience that he had and what he gained from it. And the term, a man of worth, not success, I got that from this documentary because that's the advice that his father gave him. He said, be a man of worth, not success. Whoa, that shit is powerful, people. When I heard that, it gave me goosebumps because something in my spirit, it was like the Most High was like, listen. And I was listening. And it resonated to the very core, to the nucleus of all that I am. All that is of my being resonated with that statement because it made me realize I am a man of worth. And I'm going to continue to be a man of worth for those that are worthy and to be worthy for the grace of the Most High. And there's no body that's going to disrupt or ever stop that, especially no ignorant, old-ass, backwood man that don't know a lick of shit and is completely emerged into his ego. And I said to myself, thank you. All praises to the Most High. There's a statement I want to read, a quote from Albert Schweitzer, and it says, the true worth of a man is not to be found in a man himself, but in the colors and textures that come alive in others. And I hope that I continue to have the strength and the will to continue to be a man of worth to you people that listen to the show, that get something from it. Because the network of awareness is all about awareness. It's all about understanding what is and what isn't, so that we can better understand this truth and we don't get caught up in lies. Because we live in a time right now where people are so fucking lazy that somebody can come out with some obscene lie and people are not going to even ponder if the shit is real. They're just going to go with it because they're weak and because they're lazy and because most people care about what other people think about them. And of course, one of the deadliest sins ever is jealousy, right? Jealousy has always been that sin that's just like, it's so prevalent in today's society. And many of you that have listened to this show, and I talked about this when I was being spoke about in a very negative connotations, and of all of it was lies, all of it, every single bit of it. But people gravitated to it and some didn't. And for those that didn't, I'm like, there's still some of you, ain't many, but there's still some of you. So I appreciate you not falling for the bullshit. But what I want to do is I want to give reference to everything I'm talking about in this short response from Manti Te'o. So let me pull it up now and I'm going to play it. And I'll be right back.
My agent sent me to see this therapist, and we're just talking in the lobby, just getting to know each other. And I'm kind of laying down what's going on, you know? And in the back of my head, I'm like, nobody has a cure for this, man. Like, this guy he's not gonna help me. And at the end, he says, let me ask you a question. Have you forgiven him? I said, what are you talking about? He said, have you forgiven Renaya for what he did to you? And I said, yeah, I did. He said, okay. Let me ask you a second question. Have you forgiven yourself? And I looked at him and was like, what do you mean forgive myself? He's like, have you forgiven yourself? I said, forgiven myself for what? He's like, somebody like you who's always been so confident, who's never questioned anything that he's done, and has all his success has been based on him trusting in him. For you to go through what you went through, deep down inside, you're questioning yourself. You have to forgive that kid. It's okay, Oos. What happened to you is not your fault. It's okay. Forgive that kid. The key is this. There's always gonna be that little kid that's gonna come up to you because he loves you. But if you look at that little kid like the way that this dude just treated you, you're gonna ruin that little kid.
Yep.
That is my challenge every day. That when somebody comes up to me and they say, Manti, man, I'm a big fan of you. That I don't think of the times of the hundreds of people that say, Manti, I'm a big fan of you, let me take a picture. And I took a picture with them and they made fun of me. If there's anything that I can do, that's what I'm gonna do. Every day. You know? I'm gonna rise above all of that, bro. No matter how hard it is for me. I'm gonna look at all these people who made fun of me. And the people who actually believed in me. I have to take a second to be like, they actually love me, man. They love you, they don't want to make fun of you, bro. Treat them nice. In a world that's just spit on you. Remember all those people in the stands that had the lace on. Because you're gonna have hundreds and thousands and millions of people that touch you. You ain't worth nothing, man.
Facts.
There's gonna be one that's gonna say you worth the world to me.
Let's go.
And I play for that person. I'll take all this crap. I'll take all the jokes. I'll take all the memes so that I can be an inspiration to one who needs me to be. And that's the whole reason why I'm doing this.
And that right there, people, just to interject, is why I do the network of awareness. Understand that even though I forgive all of those people that shitted on my name, that shitted on my platform, that talk shit about my wife, that talk shit towards the people that stick with me, that really try to make me look like something I'm not, I forgive them. But remember, even though you forgive these people, just like I have, don't ever forget. And always remember, and I'm not saying this to be like, to use this as a thought process of like, yeah, this is revenge and vengeance will be served. But vengeance is for the Most High, and karma is a bitch, and she's a tough one, and she's an unforgiving one, and she's one that's going to wake you the fuck up. And I know that eventually those that did me dirty, because I am a man of worth and I gave that worth to them, karma ain't going to be good for them. And that's going to be something they got to deal with, because that's a them problem. Let's let Manti Te'o finish it out.
And I want everybody to know that if Renaya ever watched this, that I forgive him. And I hope and pray that him and his family's cool. Because that's all that I can wish for him.
And there you go. That is a man of worth and not success. And I'm doing this episode because for anybody who's listening to the show, Ask yourself, are you an individual? Are you a person, male or female? Are you someone of worth? Are you somebody that focuses on moving in the spirit of the Most High, in the light that you move in whatever belief system that you are in? Are you moving in that life to be someone of worth? Or are you moving in life to just be a person that has success? Because success, people, from somebody who's had plenty of it, it's temporary. It's always temporary. I talk about it all the time. When I used to win these awards, when I used to go on these trips around the world, the sensation of the accomplishment of the success that was gained was always short-lived. It was never a permanent feeling. It was never everlasting. Why? Because success really doesn't determine who you are spiritually, because only your worth spiritually as an individual and what you do in your actions will determine how worthy you are of someone to someone else and to the Most High. Most importantly, don't ever forget that, because we live in a society that focuses so much on success. And even though it's good to gain success, it is not everything. And it is not the end all to all. It is the worth of you, of the spiritual being, having the physical experience, people. And that's what it's always going to be. And that's what it's always been. The question is whether you're going to be in that vibration, if you are going to go into that frequency and really be about that, and really be someone that is of worth, someone who can make a difference, and so be it. This shit is real, people. Don't focus on the haters. My biggest mistake, people, is that when this man was stealing my content, I should have dropped. I should have just fled. I should have just bounced. I should have just been like, this dude ain't about shit. This dude is just about exploitation and trying to get the next scheme. And shout outs to Hunter, because Hunter broke this shit down back in 2017. And I wish I would have knew about that, but I'm the type of person that I like to find out for myself. So people, be someone of worth, not success. Gain success, but gain it through your worth. And you're going to be just fine. And shout outs to my wife, Letta, because when I think about everything that's happened and where I'm at right now in my life, I'm in such a good place. And why allow lies and anger and petty envy allow me to get upset to where I start questioning if I should still be this man that's putting forth righteous intention and trying to gain the worth and the worthiness of the grace of the Most High and serving him the best way I know how. And none of us are perfect. And I know damn well that I got so much more to learn in life. But I know when right is right, and I know when wrong is wrong. And what brings me peace is that I've been doing right by people. And sometimes people, they're not going to do right by you. And it's something I heard a long time ago. Now, you've heard Brother Oxakai and myself talk about how we follow Chronicles of Judah 144. I've been following the brother for a long time. And something he said a while back, this was back in 2009 or 8 or 10, somewhere around there. But he had said, certain energies just don't mix. It doesn't matter what it is. You could be the nicest person. You could be the most upright, the most generous, and all of that. And somebody's just not going to like you because they just don't like you. They don't like how you operate. And 9 times out of 10, it's because your energy doesn't resonate with them because you're not following the same belief system that they're following in the same manner. Because most people in today's society, especially in America, they're puppets, they're followers, and they're not even intelligent followers. They're ignorant followers. And they follow man ignorantly. And what I had to realize was that that's not me. And that's why I didn't have that malice in my heart. And that's why I never projected it, because it wasn't never there to begin with. And if you're somebody listening to this show, understand something else that I was questioning. I was questioning my charity. You know, charity is something that the Most High has given me, a gift that the Most High gave me since birth. Being charitable. And I can be more charitable with my family. But when it came to overall life, I've been a man of charity. And a lot of charity I gave to people who recently turned their back on me and shitted on me. And the brother I was reading scriptures was like letting me know that if I start to have the mindset that I'm no longer going to be this charitable man, then not only am I disrespecting the Most High, right, first and foremost, but I'm also disrespecting myself in the sense that I'm going to revert back to the old self that's buried. Because the old self wasn't even aware that the charity was in them. Even though they were charitable, they weren't realizing the gift and the power in that gift and what that charity can do for someone else. But now that I know that, the Most High is always going to put people in your life for specific reasons. And it's not a coincidence that the brother that put me on in the sense of helping me to understand, to have peace, to have patience, and to not get caught up in the nonsense that is so irrelevant. I had to step back and just be like, damn, thank you. Thank you for bringing that brother into my life, because the Most High makes no mistakes, and there is no such thing as coincidence, people. Only the coincidence of things coming to a certain point at the perfect time. And I know from past experiences that the Most High is always going to put something into your life at the perfect time when it's ready to be received and understood and valued and appreciated and elevated. And that's what happened when I congregated and read some of these scriptures, because the scriptures are powerful. You heard me talk about it. But some people use the scriptures to demonize others. And I say, fuck those people. They ain't about shit. That's why they're suffering from illness. I don't give a fuck how much they tell you they're good and they're healthy. They're not. They're not even healthy spiritually. Most of them got demons on them, if not all of them. And you can tell when somebody got demons on them just by the way they speak. They speak with nothing but malice. They speak nothing but malevolence from the fucking tongue. And that is their suffering, not yours. Don't get caught up in men and women that are not really about being righteous and about putting out righteous intentions. Don't get caught up in that. Just understand what your job is. Be a man and a woman of worth and not success, people. So, brothers and sisters, this wasn't going to be a long show, but I just want to say that anybody that's dealing or currently dealing with some trials and tribulations in their life when it comes to relationships of any kind, forgive that person and move on. And don't forget, especially when it comes to the new experience, because a lot of times when we go through these certain trials and tribulations and we go through these experiences that seem to be very negative and messed up, There's some of the best things that can happen for you if you are aware. Because then if you are aware, then you can prepare yourself for the next experience. And then when that next experience comes, you could say, oh, okay, I've seen this before. Let me move wisely. And let me be patient. And then when the time comes for you to be like, oh, I've seen this before. I know what this person is about. I know what their intentions are. I know they ain't about shit because I can see it now. I can sense it. I'm now more self-aware and more aware. And then you can X that situation out of your life before it even begins, before it even sets its feet in the sand. You could just let it go in the tide and let it wash away. Because when you start to realize, people, your worth, it is a superpower. It is a superpower that now can be focused on doing something meaningful that can be worthy for the Most High to praise and to give thanks for and to give salutations for and say, you know what? One of my children, this child, is doing very good with the gifts that have been given. It is good. Because at the end of the day, people, like I always say, we are spiritual beings having a physical experience. And that's it. That's what we are doing here on this planet. It's just an experience. So let's make the most of these experiences and let us be worth the time that we invest within these experiences. Let's be people of worth instead of focusing on being people of success, because success is temporary. So brothers and sisters, to all my peoples around the world, we're not going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. You think I did almost 400 episodes to just be like, this old skeezer, he said some bad things to me and I'm just, I can't face it. Oh, it's like, get out of here, man. I'm not gonna skate away. I'm not gonna flee from some man who got demons on him. I ain't afraid of no fucking demons. I'm afraid of not being a man of worth for the Most High. That's what I'm concerned about. I ain't concerned about no fucking demons. Demons are running amok these days in a lot of people. Some of them don't even know it. But we see you. Believe me, we see you. We see you crystal clear. And we're not afraid at all. But don't let those people make you turn into the old self that you buried. Keep that person, keep that self that you no longer want to exist. Keep them there. Keep them on the ground. Continue to pursue and persist in being that phenomenal human being that you've now become and continue to strive to be every single day. Like we all strive to be better than we was yesterday, tomorrow. So brothers and sisters, the worth of a man or woman is not to be found in the man and woman themselves, but in the colors and textures that come alive in others. Ain't that the truth? So I want to thank you all for listening to this live broadcast, those that were listening outside the chat room. And of course, if you didn't get to listen to the live broadcast, download the show, share it with your friends, and let them know that the network of awareness is all about truth, understanding, knowledge, and understanding that the light of the Most High is within you. And also to be aware that once you understand who you are, you can better understand the world that you live in. And that's how you get to realize what is true and what's not. And sometimes things are going to seem true because I'm telling you, I thought there were certain people that were true, but they're not. And sometimes we have to experience that to value and to appreciate those that are even more, and to appreciate the gifts and the life that we've been given. And I know damn sure that I'm doing that, and I'm not wavering from that because my faith is unwavering. So brothers and sisters, I'm going to play a quick song, and then we're going to exit out with the outro. And the song I'm going to play is this is a song by our brother Julian, JB, Demon Slayer, right? This song is called Can't Look Back. And we ain't looking back, people. We're only looking forward. And I'm so much looking forward to being a messenger for the Most High and serving you through the network of awareness the best way I can. All right? So peace, love, and light. And don't look for the light at the end of the tunnel, because the light is and always will be within you. So light up the tunnel and find your way through the darkness. And when you live in the present, there is always an opportunity for a new beginning, brothers and sisters. Barakatah.
Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him.
I'm just trying to be purged of my sins. Demons all around, they trying to get me to slip. Pray to the living God, I need you to be my defense. Closing my eyes, bow my head, I'm ready to win.
You are now tuned in to the network of awareness.
Demons all around, they trying to get me to slip. Pray to the living God, I need you to be my defense. Closing my eyes, bow my head, I'm ready to win.
Can't go back and I feel that pain and it hurts like that. You know when you cried to the Most High. Can't find the words, but he come down fast. He saved me alive. Remember the day that I buried my grave and I wanted to die. The stress and the trauma is hard to survive. I feel it again, but this time it's different. I learned from mistakes. I'm running the race, endure the pace. I feel I could fly, but then I got hit depressed. The evil is watching my steps and I know why. We telling our people repent, just look in the mirror before it's too late. The Lord on the way, he coming with fire, I'm hitting the gas. The Lord on the way, he coming with fire, I'm hitting the gas. Old man did a dash, so I can't go back. Remember last wife, looking around, cause you might turn back. Eyes run narrow path, we living in water, surrounding each other, protect one another, we follow the land. I swear I'm fighting. Lord, I'm bleeding, oh. I swear I'm fighting. Lord, purge me, oh. I'm just trying to be purged of my sins. Demons all around, they trying to get me to slip. Pray to the living God, I need you to be my defense. Closing my eyes, bow my head, I'm ready to win. I'm just trying to be purged of my sins. Demons all around, they trying to get me to slip. Pray to the living God, I need you to be my defense. Closing my eyes, bow my head, I'm ready to win. I'm just trying to be purged of my sins for the last time, yeah. I'm just trying to be purged of my sins for the last time, yeah. I gotta go harder, we holding the sword. Stand with my brothers, we standing in war. Moving together, move on one accord. We on the road to the kingdom. Don't look back, stay focused till the king comes. I'm just trying to be purged of my sins. Demons all around, they trying to get me to slip. Pray to the living God, I need you to be my defense. Closing my eyes, bow my head, I'm ready to win. I'm just trying to be purged of my sins. Demons all around, they trying to get me to slip. Pray to the living God, I need you to be my defense. Closing my eyes, bow my head, I'm ready to win.
This concludes the Network of Awareness podcast. For more information on the Network of Awareness, please subscribe via email to our website, networkofawareness.com, and follow us on Spreaker.com or any other listening apps you use. For any questions about the NOA, email us at aura@networkofawareness.com. Thank you for listening to one of the fastest growing podcast shows on society and culture in America and abroad. When you live in the present, there's always an opportunity for a new beginning. Peace and blessings.